what is going on, I'm going to tell you what bike you should. What is? I'm going to tell you what your first bike should be. So your first bike, it's almost like what it's like. What should be my first? What should my first girlfriend be like? It's like she's got to be easy to work on. She's gotta she's gotta have a nice smile. Every time I look at her, she just livens me up inside. That's the same as a bicycle. Your first bike, when you look at it, you're just like, damn, why am I not out riding right now? Shoot, I'm heading out. It's raining, but F it. I'm gonna go outside right now to ride this bike because it's so good. I bought my first bike in 2016, my mom bought it for me. And I rode the heck out of that bike. It was beautiful, super comfortable. I never rode a road bike. I didn't even know what a road bike was back then. I was just like, hey, I want a bike that I can ride on the road. I don't know what they're called. And he was like, you mean a road bike? I was like, oh yeah. And so this is the bike, right? This is the bike you should buy right here. I'm gonna show you this bike. Now this bike is already taken. I don't know whose it is, to be honest. It's one of my coworkers. And I'm just gonna bring the bike down. This bike is super light, bro. Super light. And we're just gonna prop it right up here. This is the bike. Look at this beauty. Wow. It's got nice components, external cables. Now this bike, look at that external cable routing. So external cables means that the cables are on the outside. And so like if you ever need to lube the inside of this, it'll be easy. You just grab a can of WD-40 or some sort of lube and just use the straw nozzle and just shoot the lube in there. And it'll help, make the brakes much more responsive, as well as the shifting. Now this bike is nice. This is the bike you should be buying. It should be your first bike. Now, it doesn't have rack mount bolts, so you can put a rack. But you can buy something like the tail fin. So I'll put a picture of what it looks like. But you can mount it here, and you can put some panniers, some bags. This guy has got his what do you call this again? Saddlebag. Nice, very nice bike. These bikes these bikes on Facebook Marketplace is where you'll find these bikes. I mean, if you want a brand new bike, go to a bike shop, sure. But they're more expensive. If you ever decided to start working on it, if you wanted to become a bike mechanic or you wanted to work on your own bikes, those bikes are a bit harder to work on, bro. But this bike, easy. And watch my videos so you can learn how to fix your own bike. You can follow me on TikTok, on Instagram, on here, and I'll show you how to fix your own bikes. Those bikes are super easy to work on. And on Facebook Marketplace, those bikes, the sellers will be asking like more than it really is worth. They'll be asking like $2,000. Nah, bro. You gotta learn to negotiate with them. I mean, I'm working on that myself. I'm trying to learn how to negotiate. So like something I would try would be like, hey, why are you selling the bike? Oh, you're selling it because of that. You know what? That's a bummer. Try to relate, be like, hey, I'm looking to get my first ever road bike because I want to ditch the car and I want to save a lot of money. I want to ride to school, fitness, whatever. Try to relate, and don't just throw the low ball like I've been doing, where it's like $400. People are like, dude, I think you're talking to the wrong guy. I was offending people. So yeah, you wanna learn how to negotiate. I think by having a bit of a chat with them and just showing genuine interest in the person, and then throwing in an offer is what might help you go from like $2,000 to like $500. Seriously, you can do it. Um, so yeah, that bike that I just showed you, I probably would pay like maybe $600 for it. You know, things you gotta watch out for things like, you know, are the rims worn? If they're worn, then you probably will have to replace the rims. And are the brake pads worn? Is the tire worn? Does anything look like it's damaged? Things like that. You gotta have to really pay attention to detail and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the type of bike I would get. If anything, that was like the first bike I ever got. And actually, it's kind of it's pretty much like my bike. To be honest, I think that guy's bike is better than the bike I have. This is my bike actually. So this is the Scat. Again, external cables. It's got different brakes. It's more of a cyclocross bike, but with this bike I can put bigger tires, so it's a bit more cushion for the pushing. You know, I've got my quad lock to put my phone, a GPS unit, a light, no handlebar tape because that's how I roll. You know, I like these bright helmets, and mountain bike gears because I'm a heavy guy, so going up the hills is a bit tough. So I like to put easier gearing. You know, if you live in a hilly area, and you know, you'll probably get fitter riding up the hills, but initially, you know, if it's too much for you, definitely get some climbing gears. And yeah, that's what I would. That's the kind of bike I would get. Um, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You know, I really appreciate your comments. If you have any more questions, I definitely will try to keep answering them. And yeah, I hope the bike that you get, you ride it a lot. You ride it to the grocery store, the library, wherever, to your girlfriend's house, or when you travel. You know, if you go somewhere like the Philippines, ride that bike everywhere.